What's going on, folks? EZPuff Vapes coming at you once again, bringing it to you in typical JOAV style. I never said it like that, so shooting off the cuff as typical here out in the PNW. Lovely, lovely day. No, I didn't feel like kicking it in the vape cave today, man. When you got a day this nice, okay, a little bit overcast in the PNW. Any of you that live in the greater Washington or Oregon area definitely going to know what I'm talking about. Talking to you, my boys over at Example Box, okay? Now we're talking about EZPuff today. Everybody likes their puff to be easy, okay? Another one of those companies that has a multitude of flavors. The thing I really dig about this company is, about twofold. Number one, born and bred, 100% made in the USA, folks, okay? Second of all, owned and operated by a former armed forces veteran, okay? This guy is really awesome. Very, very patient. I've been sitting on this stuff for quite some time, and the dude really has a lot of patience and energy and passion into a good quality product. This is what I'm talking about, guys, okay? A lot of brands out there typically only come out with about 3 to 6 bottles at a time. Okay, you can better control the quality that way, but there are a couple companies out there, more than a couple, that have, anywhere up to 30 to 60 brands, and a lot of them are really high quality. But, I mean, that takes time, that takes intensity, and sometimes there's a lot of brands out there, let's just face it, don't want to put that much energy into coming out with something to ensure there's a ton of good quality flavor and extracts and time and energy and so on and so forth. But EZPuff has really impressed me as far as just the flavor and overall profile consistency of everything that they have. So I've got about 10 of their flavors here, and they do have more than that I'm going to bust out with you guys. We're going to go through them as quickly as possible without trying to miss anything. So first of all, we're going to start out with the cereal line. Okay, this is the crunk berries that they have here, and as you can imagine, typical crunch berries kind of a flavor to it, but the consistency is pretty on par with this one. I was fairly impressed. Now with crunch berries, it's not really the berry flavor that impresses me as much, because even the berry flavor in the cereal is kind of run-of-the-mill, you know what I mean? It's kind of that oaty kind of vanilla creamy almost flavor to it, of those little tan colored barrels that we get like from Captain Crunch that really make the difference. And you can smell that as soon as you open up the bottle. Really, really good flavor. And to a guy that does not typically vape cereal flavors, I was impressed by that one. You know what I mean? The milk comes through very creamy in quality and consistency. Overall, the profile was very on par. True to profile, which I really, really appreciated on that one. So many flavors out of the market. We're flooded with consistency as far as just, what we're used to, you know what I mean? So we're used to this flavor, but the quality is really what makes the biggest amount of difference here, especially if another brand can come out with a quality of a flavor that is so much similar or maybe exactly the same as so many other brands, but it's a little bit cheaper or more reasonable. Boom. 15 milliliters, 10 bucks, guys. Really, really good quality and a decent price. You can't get much better than that. Okay, that's the crunk berries from EZPuff Vapor Labs. The next one is Milk Toast Crunch. Okay, you can use your imagination on that one, but that one is your typical Cinnamon Toast Crunch flavor. Now, the cinnamon vapes for me are hit and miss. And it's not because I don't like cinnamon. It's because the extract quality of a lot of cinnamon flavored vapes that I have tried are pretty much crap. You know what I mean? I'm just going to get straight down to it. Speaking boldly has never been hard for me to do. But this one is really super tasty, guys. Very, very good. Again, a good creamy, milky base on this one, as with the crunk berries. But just the cinnamon and sugar flavor coming out in the Milk Toast Crunch one on this, totally top tier, guys. Okay, priority was key in this one, and I didn't even have to open my mouth before he sent this flavor to me. You know what I mean? I've tasted cinnamon vapes before, as if you guys have seen on some of my previous reviews, that have tasted basically like sweaty gym socks have smelled. That's never a good review, you know what I mean? And I've only had to do that once or twice for companies, but it hurts them more than it does me, because I am consistently honest with my reviews. The Milk Toast Crunch, very, very tasty. if you dig that kind of a flavor. Good quality extract as far as the cinnamon flavor is concerned, and the milk, very creamy. This third one here is Lick My Charms. And this one is about as good as it gets, guys. Lucky Charms was always my favorite cereal as a kid, and truth be told, it still is. Very, very creamy, very, very kind of a buttery consistency to it, okay? It's not your typical marshmallow flavor, even though they say, you know, the marshmallows, they're basically freeze-dried. But there's a different flavor to it. It's not just a ton of sugar and vanilla, but those are present in there. The Lucky Charms flavors typically have a little bit of kind of a buttery consistency in the undertone, like I mentioned before, which really makes this e-liquid very, very tasty, and it has a richness to it that I really appreciated. Now, most of these are high VG blends. This one is a 70-30. The Crunk Berries is 70-30, and the Milk Toast Crunch is 70-30. They may all be 70-30, which in my opinion is perfect because you can sub-ohm it, or you can drip it and still get a decent amount of cloud. And of course, the middle section right there, you know, the 70 and the 30. The 30 is really good for the flavor consistency. I've tasted some excellent high VG to total VG vapes before that had very, very good flavor retention as well. So once again, it comes down to the quality of the extracts, the passion that is put behind the company and the brand that somebody is trying to convey. So Eclairs is the next flavor from EZPuff. And if you've never tried an eclair, it is absolute wonderful delight to the senses and the taste buds, okay? It's a French pastry, basically consisting of what the French would call a pâte à choux. That's my culinary speaking right now. But basically, it is a dough base consistent of a little bit of butter, actually a lot of butter, a little bit of flour, and some salt. You make it into this kind of big ball of warm, gooey, sticky, pasty dough. You squirt it out on the pan. This time they fill it with a really rich, dense, thick vanilla French cream and put a little bit of a chocolate icing over the top. Okay, so the cocoa comes through pretty decently on this one. You can definitely get that from the chocolate icing, but everything else is a mixture of a rich, thick vanilla and creaminess to it. A little bit of a cakey undertone, of course, from the donut itself. Basically, I don't want to say donut because it's, you know, it would basically give the eclair a bad name, but it's more rich in terms of how a donut is very sweet and cakey. This one is more flaky and buttery, so it's a good flavor combination. I think the dessert vapors are going to love it, and it's going to bridge the gap between those and the breakfast vapors as well. So good flavor on that one. So good flavor on the eclairs. The General Custard by EZPuff is up next, and the General Custard is a vanilla custard and caramel with butter pecan notes. So little bit more of a different consistency going on here. I basically had to open up my palette of expectation just a little bit more with this guy. Okay, so it comes out smelling fairly light. I'm actually going to kind of drip just a little bit of this on my finger. Okay, here's the beautiful thing about this. The flavor is so good. I basically just want to pour this over some ice cream. It tastes so on par. The caramel is a wonderful consistency. Not too deep that it mutes out the other flavors, but it's a perfect blend of just that butter and the sugar blended very slowly, coming out with a nice golden brown color to it. And of course, you got the good, sweet, sugared butter pecans going on in there that gives it a nutty, earthy, rich flavor. And then the vanilla custard, got to take a breath on this one. The vanilla custard comes out with just that deep, rich, decadent flavor. This is a beautiful combination, okay? I didn't expect this from a company that makes this many flavors. Once again, sometimes if you have a company that just makes anything over 20, between 20 and 60 flavors, you can sometimes stray from the formula, and I don't find that with EZPuff. Decent flavor retention, very good quality, and very true to profile. And for 10 bucks for a 15 milliliter bottle, that's a hell of a good deal, guys. So that one was the General Custard. Moving on to the Vanilla Killa from EZPuff, okay? Vanilla custard and caramel topping with a bit of a cakey undertone. So this one's a little bit more familiar with a lot of the other brands, a lot of the other flavors that we've tried. Okay, the vanilla comes out fairly present just through smelling it, but vaping it is a little bit more of a true to profile experience. So very light and very airy on this one. Nothing too deep and rich about it, which is very good because it doesn't mute out like I said before, all the other flavors, and it really doesn't kill your taste buds. The caramel topping is a little bit lighter on this one than the last flavor that we were talking about, the General Custard, but it still comes out pretty decently, fairly solid, and I think they just kind of added just a little bit less. That shows me that the just the intelligence and the passion behind you know, the guy that came up with EZPuff was right there. I mean, he definitely wanted to come out with a quality brand that everybody would enjoy for years to come, and you know, I hope they're around for years to come because this is a very good flavor. The vanilla was present on the first inhale, as well as the caramel, and then on the exhale, a little bit of the lighter flavor, as typical as a lot of Eve liquids out on the market. You get a little bit more of that cakey flavor to it. So it was good stuff. A little bit lighter in consistency, which I liked. I don't want everything to always be heavy that I vape, even though I'm pretty typical and used to a lot of just the lighter, airier stuff. Just a lot of the desserty rich stuff. I actually have a mint menthol combination going on right here. Helps cleanse the palate, you know what I mean? So moving on, I know we're doing this at such fast pace and consistency, guys, but with 10 flavors, I don't want to bore you at this point, you know what I mean? 4 more to go. So we've got Chachi Churros on this one, guys. Now, this is your favorite carnival treat on this one. Once again, really, really good cinnamon extract on this one, as with the Cinnamon Toast Crunch flavored one that they had before. Chachi Churros is a little bit different because you have a more of a cakey flavor to it instead of the milky base undertone as with the Cinnamon Toast Crunch flavor. But this time you get a little bit of a buttery taste to it, which I love a rich buttery taste to pretty much any vape. Absolutely perfect consistency. It almost smells a little bit like a cinnamon bear when I first open it up, but the flavor combination when you actually vape it, out of sight. Really, really good stuff. On par with one of the best cinnamon vapes that I have ever tried. And if you go onto their website, EZPuff Vapor Labs, you're definitely going to find their proud declaration that this is the best churro flavor that you know that money can buy that's on the market. So you make the decision for yourself, guys. I'm not going to say the brand or the flavor, but there's one other very well-known company out on the market that comes out with a very good cinnamon vape that is similar enough to this one, probably among my favorite, but this one is a very, very close second. So the Chachi Churros by EZPuff Vapor Labs, awesome stuff. Okay, guys, the Fat Boy is the next flavor that we're talking about here. Okay, this one is a good one. Very light and very airy and refreshing. A lemon pound cake, and danged if I can't taste just a slight dollop of fresh whipped cream on this one. Once again, bust open the cap, get a little bit of an airy bouquet going on for your olfactory senses. Okay, the first thing that hits me is that vanilla in the pound cake. Got a little bit of that rich, dense, thick butter going on there. Everybody loves pound cake. It's an American tradition, you know what I mean? With a light, zesty flavor from the lemon. This is pretty much a good all-day vape in my opinion. And you're getting that cakiness too, that vanilla cakiness, as well as just a light, creamy texture. And I don't know if there is a cream additive in there or not, but it was a really, really light and refreshing vape for me. Definitely dig this one, and I think the dessert vapors are going to like this one too, and I'm a big-time dessert vapor, so that one was pretty darn tasty. Now, the second to last one is, actually it's a new release. It hasn't even been on their website yet. This one is Guava Cheesecake, and this one is actually a 90-10 blend. Which is a good contrast from some of the other ones that were the 70-30s. You know, I have dripped this one, I've sub-ohmed it. I can't tell much of a difference in terms of flavor consistency. Most of the time, I sub-ohm everything that I do, just because I'm lazy and I don't like to have to constantly keep dripping, you know what I mean? But I do love to build a coil every now and then, which is why I dripped it as well. The flavor on this one is absolutely out of sight. So the creator on EZPuff Labs came out with an amazing cheesecake base. So rich, so thick and dense and creamy. A little bit of vanilla. The egginess is very low, and it comes out so amazing. If it was just a cheesecake flavor alone, I'd vape the heck out of it. But the guava, I think, added just a nice kind of a tropical flavor to it, with keeping it nice and light and airy. So that's what hits you on the inhale, along with that deep, rich, dense cheesecake. But on the exhale, a very, very rich cheesecake, just a little bit lighter, and the guava really comes through solidly on the exhale. EZPuff is really, really impressing me so far with just the quality of the extracts and the blend. The mixology is so on par. My kudos go out for this company, man, let me tell you. And I have saved the best for last on this one. This one is Sugar Tits. I'd call every one of my e-liquid Sugar Tits if I could get away with it, but you know, that would just confuse. But anyways, this one is a traditional amazing snickerdoodle dipped in ice cold milk, and once again using an amazing cinnamon extract, kind of like the Chachi Churros or the cinnamon toast crunch cereal vape that they got going on. Unbelievably unbelievably good flavor to it. The quality and consistency is present, very true to profile as far as what it is. So the cinnamon flavor, like I said, very quality, not too high, not too low, but the sugary taste to it is good. A little bit of a buttery flavor on the back end, just to bring everything up nice and happy, and then everything is kind of kept together by a nice, rich, refreshing, milky consistency to it. So vanilla, a little bit of cream, not too heavy, not too little. Perfect combination on the Sugar Tits. Maybe I just like saying it, you know what I'm saying, but I should be blushing right now. So all in all 10 of these flavors from EZPuff Vapor Labs, really amazing stuff. So like I said, 15 milliliters, differentiating between 70-30, 80-20, and the 90-10 for the guava cheesecake. So you're getting something a little bit different from time to time. You make the call whether or not you'd like to sub-ohm it or drip it. It doesn't really matter. The flavor quality on these is so on par. And 10 bucks for a 15 milliliter, you can't get much better than that. So here's what I want you to do. Please go on to EZPuff Vapor Labs on Instagram. Give these guys a follow. Check out their pictures. They got awesome stuff. And then follow the link on their page. Buy up a ton of this stuff, because there are still other flavors that I believe I will be reviewing pretty soon. The guy's constantly coming up with new stuff. It's going to take them a little bit of ingenuity and initiative to push it out before the August 8th deadline, you know what I mean? But they've got enough to keep everybody happy as far as just flavor quality is concerned. Traditional favorites to please everybody's palate, and a few extras in here just outside the box to make everybody a little bit happy. So if you dug this review, I will be doing a follow-up of EZPuff Vapor Labs, so definitely look out for that. Spread the word here at Joe Vol Vapes on YouTube. Check me out on Instagram. My job will remain. It will be consistent, business as usual. Come August 9th, everything will be just fine. In fact, I will do my best to release constant reviews. As far as I'm considered, not until the fat lady sings am I going to stop doing what I do, and you guys make it happen, folks. Thank you very much for your support. Joe Vol Vapes coming at you, the eye in the vaping sky, wishing you all to stay humble, love yourselves, love each other, and you keep it cloudy.